All right, everyone ready for this? We are going deep into AI and big tech this week. We got to talk about Amazon and their huge investment in this company called Anthropic.
It's certainly making headlines. Anthropic is doing some really fascinating work in generative AI. They're focused on making these systems safe and reliable. That's really interesting.
Yeah, they're not just building the next Chat GPT or Bard, right?
Mm.
I mean, what they are working on, it could be even more powerful, way more adaptable. And get this, Amazon just poured another $4 billion into Anthropic,
Wow.
bringing their total investment to $8 billion. Like, can you even imagine that?
Yeah.
$8 billion. So what's got Amazon so excited? That's what we're going to unpack today.
Well, what's super interesting, to me at least, is that it really fits in with Amazon's big strategy, you know.
Hmm.
Quietly, over the last couple of years, they've been building up their AI capabilities. And a lot of that has been going through AWS, their cloud computing platform.
Right, AWS. Most people don't even realize, but it's like the backbone of the internet. How does that tie into AI, though?
Okay, so think about it. Training AI, especially the really advanced models Anthropic is developing, you need a ridiculous amount of computing power. Like imagine data centers the size of a small city, all crunching numbers day and night.
That's insane.
That's what AWS provides. And this deal actually says Anthropic will use AWS as their primary partner for training their AI models.
It's not just about the money, then. Amazon's giving them the keys to the kingdom, basically.
Exactly. Like giving a brilliant scientist the best lab in the world. And this brings us back to why Anthropic is so special. Generative AI.
Okay, so we all hear the buzzword, but can you break it down for us? What even is it, really? And why is it such a big deal?
Well, generative AI isn't just about looking at data, it's about making new stuff. Imagine AI that can write a movie script,
What?
or compose a symphony, or design a new medicine. That's what it can do. And it's already starting to happen.
That just kind of blows my mind a little bit.
It's amazing.
So this partnership, are we basically talking about ultimate brain power with ultimate computing power? Like, is that it?
Yeah, you could say that's why everyone's so excited, but also maybe a little nervous. You got Amazon, known for being super efficient in business, teaming up with a cutting-edge AI company like Anthropic. Potential benefits are huge, but then there's questions about who controls all this.
It's like we're living in a sci-fi movie now, except it's real. Okay, so we've got Amazon's ambition. They have this powerful AWS, and Anthropic is doing all this groundbreaking AI. What does it all mean for, the average person out there?
Well, think about what Amazon did to shopping, right?
Yeah.
They made a really complicated thing really easy and accessible to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
They could do that same thing with Anthropic's AI, make it available to millions of people. Imagine personalized education. That's tailored exactly how you learn. AI assistants helping you on creative projects, even tools that can analyze your business and offer like these incredible insights.
Okay, that sounds incredible, but also a lot.
Yeah,
How's this all going to play out?
that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
This has the power to reshape entire industries, and it's only one piece of a much bigger thing that's happening. What we're seeing is a race, basically, to dominate the AI landscape. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, all these tech giants, all vying for it.
So this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's this whole AI arms race going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly. And the stakes, they are huge. This AI stuff, it's developing so fast, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And it's going to affect everything.
Yeah, it does feel like something massive is about to happen, but it's hard to really wrap your head around it.
It's like, how do you predict the future? Could anyone have imagined 30 years ago what the internet would do?
Right,
And AI, this could be even bigger.
right.
But, it can't all be good, can it? What about the downsides to all of this?
Yeah, that's the big question. Everyone's so excited about it, but we hear things, AI taking jobs, becoming biased, even becoming dangerous. Is that actually realistic?
It's really important to talk about that. One of the biggest concerns is definitely jobs. AI is getting so smart, it can do things humans used to do. Like think about truck drivers, customer service people, even some finance jobs. Those are all going to be affected.
Okay, but wouldn't AI also create new jobs? People have to design this stuff, right? And build it and keep it running.
Absolutely. AI will create opportunities, for sure. But we don't know if those new jobs will replace the old ones. And even if they do, there's the whole issue of training. How do we prepare people for jobs that don't even exist yet?
It's not just the number of jobs, right? It's the skills you need for those jobs.
Exactly. And then there's the problem of bias. These AI systems, they can actually inherit biases and even make them worse because they're trained on data. And a lot of that data already has bias built in.
So garbage in, garbage out. If the data's messed up, the AI's messed up. Makes sense. But how does that actually work in real life?
Well, think about loans or hiring decisions, even some of the algorithms used in the justice system. If they're trained on biased data, the results will be biased too. And that's a big problem.
It's like you're baking the bias into the system. That's a little scary.
It is, and it's tough to fix it because you have to really understand the data you're using.
Yeah.
And then you have to keep checking, making sure it's fair.
And what about privacy? All this AI stuff, it needs a ton of data, right? Does that mean our lives are just like open books now?
Privacy is a huge concern. AI systems collect data on everything. What we do online, where we go, it's all being tracked. And that data can be used to build these incredibly detailed profiles about us. And then they use that for things like targeted ads or even worse, maybe manipulation or surveillance.
It's like Big Brother, but it's algorithms watching us.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. We need rules, regulations, something to protect our privacy. Our data should be used responsibly. We need to have control over it.
It's not just about the tech itself. It's about the rules of the game. But how do you balance the good stuff about AI with all these risks?
That is the question, isn't it? It's complicated. We want new technology, but we don't want to give up our values.
Right.
It's a tightrope walk.
Okay, so we've talked about the downsides a lot. But to be fair, AI has the potential to do amazing things too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, in healthcare, it's being used to develop new treatments, diagnose diseases earlier. In education, personalized learning, making it available to more people.
And even in climate change, AI is helping to model these patterns and find more efficient energy.
Exactly. Transportation, making cities smarter, even social justice. AI can touch everything.
So it's not all doom and gloom. AI has so much potential.
For sure. But we have to be proactive and use it responsibly. It's up to us to make sure it's a force for good.
We need AI to help us move forward, not hold us back, right?
Totally agree. So bringing it back to Amazon and Anthropic, what they're doing has really big implications for all of this.
Okay, so what makes this partnership so important? You know, we talked about the AI race in general, but how does this fit in?
I think this really shows that Amazon is serious about AI. They want to be a leader in this space. It's not just experimenting anymore. This is a big commitment from them.
Yeah, and like we talked about with AWS, they're giving Anthropic a lot of power to do that, right? But like, what's the actual outcome here? What could come out of this partnership?
Well, Amazon has this whole history of making complicated tech easy for people to use. They did it with online shopping, cloud computing, even with streaming. Now imagine they do that same thing, but with Anthropic's AI.
So instead of AI being this, I don't know, mysterious thing that only a few people understand, it'll be like as normal as ordering something on Amazon Prime.
That's the idea. AI could be everywhere, in all kinds of products and services, stuff we can't even think of right now.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a personal assistant, but one that's actually intelligent. It really knows what you need and what you like, not like the ones we have now.
Okay, that does sound pretty futuristic. But also, if Amazon is in control of so much of the AI world, doesn't that give them a lot of power? Like, too much power?
It's a good question. Some people are worried about that, yeah, that a few big companies will end up calling all the shots on AI. And maybe that would slow down innovation, or they would just use it for themselves, and not really for everyone else.
So it's not just about the technology, but also about who's in charge of it. We got to be careful about that.
Right. We need choices. Different companies, different ideas. That's what makes AI better. Otherwise, only a few people benefit, and that's not what we want.
It feels like this whole Amazon Anthropic thing, it's just a small part of something much bigger. Like, how do we even figure out AI's role in our lives?
It is.
Yeah.
This partnership shows us what's coming. AI is going to be everywhere, and it's happening fast. It's really important that we talk about it, all of us, the good and the bad.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today. What are the big things you want our listeners to remember?
Well, first, AI is here to stay. It's going to change everything, whether we're ready or not. Second, this Amazon Anthropic deal is a big deal, but it's just part of the story. And third, we can't just sit back and watch this happen. We all need to be part of shaping the future of AI.
It really feels like we're at this crossroads. Whatever we do about AI now, it's going to affect everything that comes after.
You got it.
Yeah.
We have to be careful and thoughtful. Think about ethics, the risks, the long-term consequences.
This has been such a great deep dive. I've learned so much, and it's definitely given me a lot to think about. What's the one question you would want our listeners to leave with today?
How about this? If AI keeps getting smarter and more involved in our lives, what does it even mean to be human anymore? Like, how do we know what's important, what our purpose is, in a world where machines can do almost anything?
That's a deep one. I think we'll be trying to figure that out for a while. Listeners, I really encourage you learn more about AI. There are a lot of different viewpoints out there, and don't be afraid to ask questions. The future of AI, it's happening now, and what you think matters.
Yeah, we just scratched the surface today. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But it's going to be amazing, that's for sure.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious.